I have waited for this for such a long time, but today I'm going to be unboxing my Mockmill 100, and I'm also going to be sharing with you exactly why I've chosen to mill my own grain for my family, and also why I think you should too. Now, I know that seems like a really bold statement, but if you stick around, I'm going to share exactly why I think that's the case. Hi, I'm Tracy, mum to 5 girls, and passionate about simple, natural living. From homeschooling and cooking our food from scratch, starting to grow our own, to chemical-free cleaning and natural beauty. I'm all about cutting the chemical overload and embracing creativity. Join me on this journey, and if you enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. So one of the reasons that I chose to go with Mockmill and this particular brand was because of how eco-friendly the construction is. So the Mockmill features a housing which is made from something called AeroBlend, which is basically a bioplastic, and that means that it's derived from renewable resources. Now, the material is sometimes referred to as liquid wood, and it just basically means that it's sustainable in its alternative to other plastics. Now, it is compact, as you can see. It is fairly heavy, but it really kind of packed its weight, really. The Mockmill 100 is capable of milling approximately 100 grams, so that's about 3.5 ounces, of flour per minute. Now, you can obviously get the Mockmill 200, but to be fair, even for a family of 7 when my eldest is back as well, this is more than going to meet our needs, even for everyday baking. This one is also pretty versatile. It can basically go beyond your standard grains like wheat and rye, which is what I'm going to be using here. But the Mockmill can actually it can mill a variety of grains, legumes, spices, rice even, which basically means it just offers a lot of flexibility to experiment with different ingredients. This was so easy to set up. It's pretty much just a plug and play. It was very well packaged, so I just took it out. You can plug it in, as you can see, remove the top, and away we go. And there's so many different settings. I think I'll do a separate video on that so I can explain to you how you can use it for different things. So why make the effort to mill your own grain in the first place? Now, if you've looked into this at all, you may have heard things like freshly milled grain retains more nutrients like your vitamins and healthy oils that degrade in store-bought flour. Or you may have heard things like freshly milled flour retains the bran and germ of the grain, which are rich in essential nutrients like fibre, vitamins and minerals. In contrast, store-bought flours often have these components removed to extend shelf life, resulting in a loss of nutritional value. So that's all great. That lets us know that milling your own grain at home offers significant nutritional advantages over consuming store-bought refined flours. But what does that really mean? So that's what we're going to take a look at now. So you can see from this diagram that I've made of an anatomy of a grain, and the outer layer, which is the bran, is basically what protects the seed. It's rich in dietary fibre, B vitamins and minerals such as iron, magnesium and selenium. The middle section, which is the endosperm, now this is the energy for the seed, so it's primarily made up of carbohydrates and some protein. And then you have the germ section. Now this is the nourishment for the seed, and it's nutrient dense. So it's basically containing the healthy fats, the vitamin E, B vitamins, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. Now, if you can understand the role of each section, it already helps us to better understand the nutrient density and quality of the parts of the grain. And basically, those are all the parts that are present in your home milled flour, as opposed to some of your store-bought varieties. So let's look into that further as to what that really means and what the refining process really means. So during the refining process, the bran, which is the outer part, that protective layer, and the germ, which is the nutrient dense part, are removed. So that means that it's just leaving the endosperm. Now that results in substantial loss of essential nutrients. So fibre, the removal of the bran eliminates most of the fibre content, and dietary fibre is crucial for digestive health. It helps regulate blood sugar and also contributes to satiety. You know how full you feel when you eat something. Now, obviously, the Significant reductions also occur in the B vitamins such as thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and folic acid, and also minerals like iron, magnesium, and selenium. So, for instance, your refined flours can lose up to 72% of the major minerals compared to the whole grain counterparts. And also, removing that germ which contains those beneficial fats, you're also losing that during the refining process. So that's diminishing the overall nutrient profile. So the crazy thing is, to compensate for those nutrient losses, manufacturers will often enrich the refined flours by adding back certain vitamins and minerals. But of course, that process has got limitations. So not all nutrients are replaced. So, for example, while your B vitamins and iron might be added back, other vital components like fiber and certain phytonutrients, they're not restored. And of course, that's also going to change the bioavailability because nutrients in whole grains are naturally integrated with the food matrix, which means it's potentially enriching their absorption and utilization in the body compared to isolated added nutrients. So, consuming refined grains has been associated with various different health concerns. So, blood sugar spikes, and you can check out the glucose goddess for that. She's got a lot of great information. That lack of fiber leads to rapid digestion and absorption, causing quick increases in blood sugar levels. It can also be a contributing factor to increased risk of chronic diseases. So, diets high in refined grains are linked to a higher risk of things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Now, of course, it's not just within that, there's a lot of other contributing factors. However, you cannot move away from the fact that milling your own grains at home means that you're ensuring the retention of all parts of the grain and preserving their full nutritional profile. That means that you're consuming the complete spectrum of nutrients as nature intended, including the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, and those healthy fats. It also enhances the flavour because freshly milled flour offers kind of like a richer, almost more complex flavour, and that just helps to elevate all of your baked wares. You also have so much more control because you get to choose the grains, so organic, heritage varieties, for example, and you also get to adjust the grind size so that it can match your particular preference for whatever you happen to be making at the time. There's also less reliance on store-bought products, so you're supporting homesteading values, and of course whole grains store longer than flour, so you're reducing waste. So really, this is just the beginning of our fresh milling journey. And honestly, I cannot even begin to tell you how satisfying it felt to see that first batch of flour coming out of the Mockmill, knowing exactly what's in it and also what isn't. For us, it's more than just about better bread. It's about nourishing our family, reclaiming simplicity, and taking one more step towards the homestead lifestyle that we're building from the ground up. So if you found this helpful or inspiring, I'd love it if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribed to our channel, and maybe even shared it with a friend who's curious about milling their own flour or just starting their own natural living journey. Let me know in the comments, what would you love to mill first? Or do you have a question about getting started? Until next time, from our kitchen to yours, happy baking, happy living.